Hey there, welcome back. Today is Friday, July 31st. And today I finally got that email that says I'm allowed back on campus. So school starts in about a week and a half. And after looking at my calendar, I realized I only have 3 days to unpack. I've actually been prepping this entire week. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through everything that I've done this week to prepare for back to school from home. And the one change I've made this summer that's really helped me to stay organized and on task. I'm on our school's instructional leadership team, and next week on Thursday and Friday, there are 2 professional developments given by the district. So I'll be attending those. And those 2 days are actually interfering with my classroom setup. So that is the reason why I only have 3 days. For the longest time, this was my system. This is where I would make my list of things to do for back to school. And as you can see, this was last year's. Just pages and pages of notes. There was no organization to it. It didn't tell me what I should do first, next, or last. And so this year, I decided I would try something new. I actually learned how to create a checklist on Google Keep. I'm not sure why I waited so long to learn how to do this. This is awesome to create a checklist on Google Keep. I have all my back to school tasks on different lists. It helps me to stay organized, and it's so much easier to see everything at a glance instead of flipping through pages. As you can see, I've finished some of my items on different lists. I have other lists down at the bottom. Honestly, I think this is something that I'll keep using even after all my back to school items have been checked off. It's such an easy thing to do. Sometimes seasoned teachers like myself don't like change, but I think I'm a little more flexible because it makes things exciting. It makes them less boring. Honestly, I love to learn new things. I don't mind. I learn from my younger colleagues as well. Something else that I did for the first time was to create my own digital template to write all my lessons for the year on Canva. I was a bit reluctant to not buy my happy planner. I thought if I could do Google Keep, I can also create a template, which I did. Here's the digital template that I created. It's very simple. I already started recording some ideas of what I'm going to do the first couple of days of school. Here's the second page that goes on with that. As I was typing the ideas that I had for the first couple of days of school, I also pulled out the read alouds that I would be doing for that first week. I had these here in my home office. I actually didn't use these last year, but I'm bringing them back because I really enjoyed them, and they really helped to set those routines and expectations. I updated the PDFs that went along with the books. This new book I'm trying out, What If Everybody Did That? I don't have the book here. It's actually at school. So I did a follow-up worksheet. This one's to the gigantic turnip, Wordy Birdie's advice. And I have a couple more that I still have left to complete. And then those community building activities, kind of those warm-up / icebreakers. Find someone who. I updated this. This one's a partner STEM challenge where you have straws, masking tape, a cup at the top, and some coins. Students have to work together to build a tower that is strong enough to hold the cup with the coins in it. They have some questions to answer as well. Some of the other items on my checklist are my student gifts that I give at the start of the school year. Let's start the school year off right. I'm so happy you're in my classroom. I used this same student gift last year. The only difference is that last year's group of kids received a pencil keychain. This year's, I'm going to give them a pencil that says fourth graders are number one. I've also created all my labels for my notebooks and my folders. Here's my daily work folder. And my writers folder. I purchased these at Target. I think they were $1.25 each. So that was a nice saving. Something different that I'm trying out this year is including this elastic band to help bookmark their pages. Originally, I would give students a tab or a Post-it note, but after a while, that Post-it note would lose its stickiness and it would end up on the floor or in the trash. I got the idea from this academic calendar that one of my students gave me for Teacher Appreciation Week. It actually has an elastic band. So I purchased this roll of elastic rope and I created 2 holes. And this is the hole punch that I use. It's by Boss Stitch. This is like the most awesome hole punch ever. At school, I have the one that has the rubber handles and it always seems to get stuck. And it doesn't usually punch holes very well through this type of material. This one actually does. Then I inserted the band. The band is 12 inches long and I used packaging tape to secure the band. I also have this pocket that I created, and this is where the students will store their strategies worksheet throughout the year. I'm also going to print this problem-solving criteria chart on my adhesive labels and then attach it to the front. That way the students have a closer version than the anchor chart that I have in my class. And this little guy here is Laszlo. He's so nosy. He's a bull mastiff. And anytime I'm working in my office, he has to get into everything. As you can see, he's so upset. So I created individual birthday months on cardstock and then laminated them. And so what I'm going to do is with a whiteboard marker, I am going to write the student's name and the day of their birthday. And then I will put these either on my cabinet doors or the actual door itself. Where I save a lot of time is prepping my students' pencil boxes and assembling them together. This is what the box looks like before it is assembled. I trace it on contact paper and then I apply it, attach it together, and this is what it looks like. All students will have a nameplate in front. I changed the design of the nameplates this year. This year, I'm creating a birthday basket. I did the titles onto the crickets. Last year, I had a birthday pail. It was a straw with a paper balloon on top with a Mickey embellishment. I think I've been doing that for the last 6 years and I wanted a change. They are like the cutest things. I found these on Amazon, and so students can choose their own little fluffy monster. There's different kinds, different colors. They're all so cute. Now comes the fun part, getting all of this packed up and ready to load into my car. I'm hoping I have some extra boxes. If not, I was thinking of using some of the grocery bags. I do have larger sized ones where I can fit more in it. This is pretty much what I've been doing all week, prepping ahead of time so that when I get to my classroom, I feel a little less stressed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.